Who am I? It's always one of those questions that is really loaded and full of a lot of time and answers. My name is Lisa Lowry, and I am a moonshiner turned legal distiller, and absolutely love what I do. My still here sitting next to me, I call her Miss Bunny Thumper. And who am I? I am, let's see, I'm a motorcycle riding, breast cancer surviving, liquor making badass, right? That's who I am. That's who I am today. There's a lot of things that I'm involved in, and I like to stay very active. And I love meeting new moonshiners and new experiences, and I've met some amazing people here within this whole family of moonshiners, and I'm grateful for that. Let's see, how old was I when I discovered moonshine, when I discovered liquor? Well, I really don't want to say Dad, so Mom, but I was quite young, and I was definitely, of course, in my teens, and I had a family, my aunt and uncle, who actually made grappa in their basement. So I come from Michigan, originally a Michigander, a Yankee, and they had this amazing old farmhouse, and they had a Michigan basement. And I don't know if you know what a Michigan basement is, but it's dark and dank and spooky and rocky and dirty, and it was the perfect place to make grappa, or to realize what you could do with a still, right? So they were some of the first moonshiners in my family that I know of. And my family comes from Arkansas and Missouri and the hills, and I'm pretty sure Granny was in the back, I'm sure, making something. But my aunt and uncle taught me, some of the finer points of using a still, which was really exciting. So as time goes by, off into college and off into the world, the workplace, and in the corporate world, it's not really something that you do, especially not something that you do in Michigan, moonshining. You don't really talk about it. Nobody really does it. It's not as celebrated as it is down here in the South, which I absolutely adore. So here I am in my apartment in Washington, D.C., because I moved from Michigan, and I got a little 1-gallon still, doing it while nobody's looking. As I'm in the corporate world, prancing around with my fancy little suits and everything in D.C. in the corporate world, and I just continued the love of it. So I first took wine and distilled that, making a nice brandy, of course. And then I discovered grains. And then I discovered whiskey. Yes. And that's where I'm at today. And I love bourbon. I love taking the moonshine or the distilled spirit and putting it into a barrel. And I love the magic that happens, all the alchemy and everything that comes along with putting something in one spot and having it come out something different in the other end. And that's amazing to me. You put in a clear liquor in a barrel, and 2 years later it comes out golden, coppery, beautiful bronze color. It's very, it's magical, it's spiritual. I mean, it's very romantic, I think, because you're looking at something that nature does on its own, producing this delicious, intoxicating elixir, right? So that's how I look at spirits. One of my heroes in life was definitely my grandmother. It's such a cliche answer, but it really is true. I can hear her today in my head saying, "Know your worth, child," and go out there and get it. Get whatever you want and go take it, but know your worth. So that carried with me my whole entire life. Really knowing who I am and what I love, and really not giving a damn what anybody else thinks if I'm going to, go out there and have that drive and that passion. So don't stop me, right? Don't get in my way. And if you say no, I'm going to make it happen. Most definitely. I can't say that I have one person in particular that I would consider my hero, other than my grandmother, of course, because I look at so many strong people in general out there who are doing what they love, men and women alike, doing what they love and following their passions and figuring out how to do it and getting it done. So that really inspires me, learning from others on how to be successful myself. The moonshining group, all the moonshiners, one huge family, very close knit. I have never felt more welcome with a bunch of strangers turned family instantly than I was when I first got involved with them. And they welcome me around every corner, and it's really impressive. They don't know me, I don't know them, but instantly, you know, my brothers and sisters. So it's very impressive that there is a group out there that is so welcoming. No drama, thank God, no drama, and just a fabulous group of people. I have witnessed the Moonshiners, you know, giving back to their community in the form of you know, helping children. Like we know some school teachers that are involved, that really are really involved in shaping you know, some children's lives in a positive way, not through moonshine. And you know, I have actually seen, you know, the charitable organizations that they're involved in. So that's, to me, that's really impressive, being able to give back to your community. And it's not uncommon. I mean, they're very, very giving souls, and they bend over backwards to help you, most definitely. And I've watched them do that. I've sent mash all over my distillery, probably 20 feet up in the air, and covering everybody and everything in the entire distillery. And I work with two 250-gallon stills. So imagine 250 gallons of mash, hot mash, covering all of our guests, covering all of our computers, all of the fermenters, staining the ceiling. Yeah, it was. It can be a big mess when it actually happens. This little girl has not proven me wrong yet. When I first started using her, in sealing the seams, instead of using, you know, the plumber's tape that you can use now to seal it, the silicone tape, I used to use wheat, you know, and water, just a nice paste. So I would take big globs of it, and I'd actually cook some bread on top of this little girl and use her for that. So she's very versatile in that sense, but she's not proven me wrong just yet. But the big stills, when they go, man, you puke in I mean, you got mash in the columns, you have mash everywhere. It's a nightmare, 100% nightmare. Oh my God. This little girl, this is my favorite little still to work on. She's a lot of fun. I call her Miss Bunny and Thumper, right? Little love affair going on there. And she's a 10-gallon still, pot still, beautiful curves. I think she's really sexy. And when she gets going, she's a little workhorse. So very, very sexy. I think all copper stills are gorgeous. I like to say it's copper porn. Sexy. I love all copper stills. And right now I'm working in my professional place, my job, I'm with stainless steel and copper. So I actually have two stills that are from 1978. They're old pharmaceutical reactors. We converted them to stills, and they're just I call them the twins from The Shining. Yeah. And they're workhorses. The twins, right? I mean, you know, they're identical, kind of. Murderous little things. I love working with fruits, but you know, again, I'm a whiskey girl. I love. Did I say that too intently? I love whiskey, so I like working with. I especially like a good wheated bourbon as well. So I like working with wheat and corn. I just think it's very easy to work with, but it produces a phenomenal product. But I'm actually getting into more into fruits. I want to really hone in my skills on some brandies, and my aunt and uncle will not give me their recipe for their grappa to this day. So I'm trying to figure out how they did it and produce a really good one in there. So I think those are my favorites right now. I mean, I do love rum. Rum's a fun one to make. Let's see what else. I'd like to do an agave spirit. I want to try that one. Because I do love some good tequila too. I really just don't discriminate against any liquors, so I love them all. I love seeing women excel with something that they love, and including moonshining. I think it's really exciting. Like the more that I'm involved in moonshining, and granted, I am one. Like when I go to events, I never see other women moonshiners. I don't even know if they exist. I'm sure they do. They're out there, most definitely, and they're probably way better than their guy moonshiner that they're moonshining with. But I like to tell women or young women, or I don't want to say young girls, because I really don't want to promote young girls in liquor. However, I have been to some events where little girls will come up to me and they're just like, they're so enamored because I'm a woman. They're used to seeing the bearded, bellied, no offense, guys out there, but the overalls. I tried on a pair of overalls the other day, and doesn't look so good on me. So you will not find me in a pair of overalls. Typically it's all black, so you're lucky to get some color, but overalls, it's always that. But I love to tell women that, we're so strong, and our senses are so much greater, I've been told, than men, because our sense of smell and our taste and sight, all of that, it's just so greater and so tuned in to all of that, to the world around them, that we can produce some phenomenal products. So I really want to let women know that we can do this too. And I have actually taken on another apprentice at my distillery, a female, so girl power, that she loves distilling. She's a corporate girl by day and a distiller by night, and yeah, she's rocking it. She is rocking it, and I love that. So anything that I can ever do to help promote women, moonshiners in general, I'll do anything for my family, but to get those women out there, loud and in charge and in front of the world is really key. So if I can do it, if this little girl from Michigan, this little Yankee can do it, any girl can do it, most definitely.